The other side. The first thing we have to do when considering transformational leadership is to ask ourselves if we want to be a leader. Most of the time we discuss leadership, we talk about being a leader as something desirable, fantastic all the time, but it is not. To be a leader means to be responsible morally, ethically, and financially for others. It means putting the necessities of others above our own, and the needs of the collective above individual needs. These factors very often lead us, as leaders, to make very tough decisions that may affect us deeply. If we intend to be a responsible and ethical leader, to have power is not always a blessing for us, it may become more like a curse. In the path of achievement, there are a lot of failures. In addition, when we discuss leading change, we must keep in mind that we are only able to lead people who want to be led, or the people who want the change we are proposing to make. Even in a small community such as a department in a company, if we try to change the corporate culture, if the firm does not want it and the employees neither, we run the risk of being fired. Opportunities to lead changes happen under very special circumstances, and are not very common. We have to be prepared to be betrayed. Quite often, the followers change their minds in the middle of the process and leave us alone. An emblematic example is the event in Tiananmen Square massacre, when the tank man was left alone against tanks and then was removed from the protest by his peers. If we are prepared to be patient, often waiting for years to see a change, if we are cognizant of all the challenges ahead, and still wish to become a leader for change because what really matters to us is change itself, not the status of the leader, then we are ready to move forward. Throughout my career, I have experienced several failures and several victories. At the very beginning, I tried to change the culture of a big corporation and failed badly. I was only one of the executives and C-level administration did not want it. I left the company and moved on to build my own business. In my firm, I built the culture that I wanted and all the people that worked there were expected to share the same values. I believe I can say that I have contributed to change some of my employees' lives significantly. For example, 2 office boys that dropped out of high school ended up going to college and one of them is pursuing a master's degree in engineering. Both are married and in a healthy financial position in other companies. In these cases, I was able to have influence on these outcomes because the corporate environment was controlled by me. Another attempt to be a change leader came when a tragedy took over a community where I have a small ranch in Brazil. I wanted to change how business was done in the agricultural field, family agriculture. I decided to change the profitability of the business by not using intermediaries and by distributing the products directly to the consumers, and providing more quality products for the same price. The only way I could imagine change happening was to build an agricultural cooperative in an extremely individualistic community, with no experience in business whatsoever. I put a lot of my own money, my time, my company's resources and political relationship assets in my work with them. Although I wrote the cooperative statute, I never was part of the board of directors. All members were small farmers from the region. I always acted as an external consultant to lead them through a specific path and to teach them how to achieve common goals. It was not an easy thing to do, but now the cooperative is self-sustainable and profitable. The profit is distributed between its members, providing healthy food for more than 1,000 children in various local schools. The current president of the board is a former high school teacher, from a school that was destroyed in the catastrophe, and farmer, who finished building his house recently. One of the directors is a former homeless farmer, previously battling alcoholism, who eventually returned to his family house and bought a new truck to distribute the production. These are only 2 examples, but all the community is taking advantage of the fruits of the cooperative and they are very proud of their achievement. I never recovered my investment, and I experienced some negative consequences in my finances. They probably barely remember my role in the foundation of the co-op. Nevertheless, I am also very proud of what I accomplished.